Applied Linguistics Group uploaded this video. This group is for helping students of BS, MS, MPhil, and PhD in English Linguistics, Applied Linguistics TEFL, TESOL, TOEFL and IELTS students. Dr. Khalid Malik is the founder of Applied Linguistics Group's youtube.com/@1966 Pakistani. Dr. Khalid Malik has a PhD in Applied Linguistics TESOL. He published more than 25 research papers. He taught a lot of foreign universities and admitted to a postdoctoral study project in Canada. Help others easily find Applied Linguistics Group by copying or downloading a QR code to join. Process-oriented syllabuses. A process-oriented syllabus focuses on the skills and processes involved in learning language. It can be compared with a product-oriented syllabus, which focuses on completed acts of communication, the outputs. Example: a process writing syllabus would focus on the processes writers use to complete their tasks, such as collecting information, organizing ideas, drafting and revising, rather than just the features of the products of writing, such as letters, compositions, notes, reports, etc. In the classroom, working on the writing processes is hard work for learners because it involves thinking, organizing and planning, but it is time well invested in skills that will enable the learner to become an autonomous writer. One way to apply a process approach to tasks is to provide the language they need on demand as they work, rather than before they start. This can be done by the teacher, by referring the learners to useful language lists or dictionaries, or by other learners. Process-oriented syllabuses. Based on Noonan 2004, 40 process-oriented syllabuses emphasize the student's experience in learning activities. He also explains about 3 kinds of process-oriented syllabus, which are: 1. Procedural syllabuses. This syllabus is organized around tasks, rather than in terms of grammar and vocabulary. Moreover, the syllabus consists of the specification of the tasks and activities that the students will engage in class. 2. Task-based syllabuses. Task-based syllabus is similar to procedural syllabus that is organized around tasks. Richard, Platt, and Weber 1985, 289, in Noonan's book 2004, present that a task is an activity or action which is carried out as the result of processing or understanding language. The task can be real-world tasks and pedagogic tasks that the students are required to carry out in the classroom. Process-oriented syllabi. More recently, applied linguists have become more concerned with the pedagogic processes of how we achieve our outcomes. Task-based. Because of this, we saw the advent of the task-based syllabus planned around a sequence of tasks which learners have to carry out in the classroom, with emphasis being placed on the communication of meaning. This provides learners with the necessary skills to cope with real-life situations. They are involved in real communication and all which that incurs, checking understanding, restructuring to aid comprehension, etc., as well as allowing space for both planned and unplanned discourse. Learner-centered. Most recently, the learner-centered syllabus with strong emphasis on learner training has become fashionable. This takes into account differing learning styles and aims to make the learner independent. They see language learning as being only a part of a lifelong learning process. Thus, self-evaluation, learning how to learn and training in how to develop skills become central. Noonan asserts that any curriculum which fails to give due consideration to both product and process will be defective. Product and process-oriented syllabuses are seen on a continuum where we should be aiming to take the process into account, but we should also have objectives, that is, we need to state what our learners will be able to do as a result of instruction. Before you start to write a syllabus, first the teaching situation and the intended learner group should be analyzed. Teaching situation: what constraints are you working under that you cannot change? These might include type of assessment. If external, this could have tremendous impact on your syllabus. Resources / staffing available. Are there 50 children in a class with only a blackboard? Are there computers? Can students have access to a computer lab for independent and class computer-assisted language learning, core work? Learner geography. How much exposure will students get outside of the class? Time period and / or intensive versus spread out. This impacts on the amount of material you could cover and also the structure of the individual weekly plan. Books. Does a core course book exist that the syllabus must be built round, or are you writing a syllabus from scratch? Consult with the people involved in teaching the syllabus. Teachers and heads of departments must be involved from the beginning so that they do not feel that the syllabus is being imposed on them and thus gives them a sense of ownership. Intended learner group. There is quite a lot of information you need and decisions you can make about your intended learners. Learner needs. Based on learner profile, age, level, interests, reasons for learning, do a needs analysis. This can range from a full-blown formal multiple-choice computer test and oral interview to an informal chat at the beginning of the course where you ask the class what their needs are. Strengths and weaknesses. Does the nationality as a group or the group as a group of learners have common problems? Do they have a different script and therefore find writing a problem? Are there sounds in English that they don't have in the L1? Setting learning objectives. From the above, learning objectives must be written. These may be externally enforced or ideally come from learner needs, but in the real world they are usually a mix of both. They may also be restricted by resources. Objectives might come from the course book, although the course book should not be seen as the syllabus. These can be written in terms of can-do statements. The learner can talk about likes and dislikes. The learner can narrate a story in the past tense, etc. With the list of can-do statements and the course book or the materials you will develop, you can start developing the structure of the syllabus. The ones above become in the syllabus, expressing likes and dislikes, and narrating a story set in the past. Decisions must then be taken on the following. Balance of skills versus grammar and vocabulary. You need to make sure there is balance in the syllabus, taking into consideration the strengths and weaknesses of the group and their aims in studying. New language versus practice opportunities. You should ensure a balance of input versus revision. This should be about 1/3 to 2/3. Outcomes. Make sure you know what you want the learners to be able to do by the end of the course. Suitability of topics. Are some topics in the course book culturally inappropriate or just considered boring? Once you have the ways in which you will achieve the learning objectives written down, you could also consider the following. Independent skills training. Some learner training both within the syllabus, in and outside of class, for example dictionary use, vocabulary recording, introduction to independent study resources. Space. Leave blank spaces to cater for individual teacher and learner styles and to allow for flexibility to catch up or extra lessons on identified weak areas. Homework. Once the syllabus is written, the work isn't over when you finish writing the syllabus. You'll still need to pilot it with at least one class. Get feedback from the teachers and the learners and then adapt it. Make sure teachers know about it and do not think it is just another piece of paper that can be shelved. Make sure teachers receive training in how to use it and also training in any new methodology that has been incorporated in it. This will give the syllabus project credibility. Involve the teachers again. Encourage feedback so it can be changed. The first draft will never be perfect and can only be finalized once it has been trialed and tested. Feedback should be taken on board and changes made accordingly. This approach to syllabus types enhances communicative skills and focuses on the specification of the learning task and activities that students undertake. Breen, 1987. It includes syllabuses like procedural, task, process, and content syllabuses. Noonan, 1988:40, argues that in the process-oriented syllabuses, however, the focus shifts from the outcomes of instruction, i.e., the knowledge and skills to be gained by the learner, to the processes through which knowledge and skills might be gained. He adds that the procedural and task-based syllabuses are considered as examples of process-oriented syllabuses. Product-oriented syllabi focus on the information and skills that the student should acquire through the teaching instructions, while process-oriented syllabi focus on the process the student himself experiences. Each syllabus is both product-oriented and process-oriented. Nevertheless, the distinction is made when one of them is emphasized during the building of a syllabus. The focus on the output is on the product-oriented syllabi, the concentration is on the goal. The emphasis is on the process. A succession of actions is vital in a process-oriented syllabus. Breen, 1984:51. Richards and Rogers, 1986:69, assume that if our view of languages is communication, then the nature of linguistic and language learning will look advantageous if we have a syllabus focused on activities and work that encourage real and meaningful communication. The objectives of the course and the needs of the students are more to be considered while critically evaluating the syllabus. Last but not least, a hybrid syllabus will be produced merely for pragmatic reasons. As Hutchinson and Waters, 1987:51, indicate, it is wise to take an eclectic approach, taking what is useful from each theory and trusting also in the evidence of your own experience as a teacher. Thus, to what extent has an integration of the various approaches taken place? Does the syllabus specification include all aspects? If yes, how is priority established? These questions must also form part of the criteria when designing or assessing your own syllabus. Conclusion. Syllabus writing is a long process and one which requires constant reflection and revision. You may have to accept that some people will never be happy with it and that it won't suit everyone. It does, however, remain an essential part of the teaching and learning process. Applied Linguistics Group uploaded this video for helping students of BS, MS, MPhil, and PhD in English Linguistics, Applied Linguistics TEFL, TESOL, TOEFL and IELTS students. Dr. Khalid Malik is the founder of Applied Linguistics Group. youtube.com/@1966 Pakistani. Dr. Khalid Malik has a PhD in Applied Linguistics TESOL. He published more than 25 research papers. He taught a lot of foreign universities and admitted to a postdoctoral study project in Canada. Help others easily find Applied Linguistics Group by copying or downloading a QR code to join.